Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Leftovers podcast. I'm Riley.
I'm Paige.
And I'm now here, Kale, here to defend myself.
We talked shit about him in the first episode. It's fine.
It's fine.
But, this is Kale. He's here because Cooper is busy with school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm not yet.
Here's a little bit about Kale. He's a music boy. He goes to school for music, and he plays the big violin. Isn't that right?
Well, yeah, I mean, by big violin, she means cello.
Yeah, he's a soloist.
He's a smart soloist, too.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'm here, right? So, clearly I'm doing something wrong.
Oh,
right?
Clearly you have to stoop on our level of intelligence sometimes to hang out with us. So you're like a dumb, smart guy.
You're like a dumb, smart guy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I do cello. I'm not nearly as busy as Cooper.
He's just such a busy boy.
Yeah. We have a lot of other stuff outside of school. But not really a lot of homework. It's kind of different. Music school is its own sort of thing.
Yeah. Don't you do auditions? Didn't you do one?
Yeah. I had auditions Wednesday. It's an orchestral rep class. So basically, when you take orchestral auditions, they just give you a bunch of excerpts for the music that you might play in an orchestra. And you have to prepare it as well as you can and audition on it. So the class is just, they give you a bunch of excerpts and then you audition on them. And it's really nerve-wracking. They have the judges are behind a screen.
Ooh, I don't like that at all.
And it's kind of funny because they're the professors that know you. So they don't know it's you, but they kind of know it's you at the same time because they can just hear that it's your sound. So that was really scary. I did really well on 3 of them and then messed up the last one.
I'm just kind of picturing like a confessional.
Yeah, right.
And you playing in there.
It's kind of like that. It kind of feels like that in a way because you have no place to hide.
Oh my god.
Oh, just
That's
in a
so
confessional.
It's very raw, either it was right or it's not. And in a way that's kind of cool, but in other ways it's extremely scary. But yeah, that's me.
Welcome to the shitty podcast.
This shitty podcast that we've dedicated ourselves to.
For some reason.
It's not hurting anybody for now.
For now. What are you planning to do?
I'm hurting you. I'm planning on killing you on one of the podcasts.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll
maybe
be
that could
good
be
ratings.
the final episode.
Yeah.
It will, because that'll be the end of our friendship.
Yeah.
I'll finally be tired of her shit and just.
Thank you. Put me out.
I kind of hope I die in the process too, and then Cooper uploads it anyway.
That'd be a good episode. Pretty hyped for that. But we're gonna try and make this a musically themed episode. We're gonna break out some musical hot takes.
Oh yeah, we both have
Artists we like, artists we don't like.
We both have news article stuff we've prepared. Not last minute.
Nope, not at all. We're
not.
prepared.
Mine's not music related though.
Neither is mine.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll get to that. What have we done, boys?
Played Final Fantasy all week.
We still haven't done anything with Final Fantasy.
We got to level 50, and it ends at midnight on the final day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fuck yeah, I reached level 50. That means I can become a samurai, live out my weeaboo dreams.
Get those cherry blossoms.
Get those cherry blossoms, get that samurai sword. My character would look great with it. Totally goes with my character's look completely.
Oh, yeah.
When I was mid-mission to accomplish getting my samurai sword and hopefully a samurai outfit.
Yeah, probably.
It kicked me out of the fucking game 49 minutes after we were supposed to be kicked. And I was really angry. I was like, son of a bitch! This fucking game!
It's not fair, because I was a little bit ahead of her, all because she took a nap at some point, and I got like a level ahead of her. So I got to Red Mage, and I got my slick outfit, but she just got fucked over.
Ugh.
Yeah, and here am I, like, 27 levels behind. I'll get there one day.
You don't listen. Why don't you explain how you feel about this game?
All right. So, I don't know if I dislike it or like it. I feel like it's a lot like other MMOs that I enjoy, but just the way the skills come is so slow.
It is slow, yeah.
And you unlock Ninja after Rogue, and that sort of builds on Rogue. And you'll get more abilities. And that might be interesting, but like where I am right now, I feel so incomplete as a class. I don't feel like a rogue because I'm just like, all right, do the slash, and then you combo it into the second slash, and you repeat that cycle over and over again until they're dead. So in that way, it feels kind of bad right now. But I know like later, like once you get to the sort of the end game, like people talk about, ooh, the real game starts once you get to level 50. But I'm just so far away from that I'm just like, ooh, I don't know if I can make it.
I think that's perfectly fair.
Yeah. If you did make it to level 50, you said you wanted to be a samurai too.
Yeah. I'm about that weeb shit.
Uh-huh.
The brief
all these
moment,
weebs around me.
2 minutes I was a samurai. I couldn't figure out the fucking abilities because I was like, I don't know. I'm just gonna go into this mission and use these abilities. But I clicked on one. And then the whole 2 bars lit up for combos. And I was like, oh god, everything's a combo.
Oh, that sounds really perfect for me.
That does sound
like
cool.
Really unnecessarily complex things.
And then we could have probably reached level 50 with one of the characters a long time ago. Because like we have like 4 characters or something, and my paladin's level 41, and my
you mean 4 classes?
Yeah, you know what I mean. My paladin's level like 41, and I have a white mage. It's like 35, and I have a 13 archer, and other shit like that. And I'm just like, what's happening? We've leveled up so many characters,
and all of them were
classes.
Damage. I mean, if you like complex skill sets, most of the skill sets become that.
Yeah, it just takes so long, right?
Yeah, you gotta get to level 50. And even then, there are skills after that.
Yeah, so, I mean, and then also just because, like, I don't know, there are other games I want to spend my $14, $15 a month on.
Yeah.
So.
I hate the sub price.
It's not really something I want to, like, commit to if it's going to take that long to even, like, start enjoying, I guess.
That's understandable.
And then like the free weekends, usually like they're free, but you know, I usually have like school things, so like I never really get as far as they do. I feel like it would take like, you know, years of my life before I even like was like, yeah, this is good, I'm gonna play this, I'm into this.
One day, years from now, you'll be level 50, we'll be level 70, but it's fine.
I don't know, in a way, like, because in the first episode, y'all talked about SWTOR and how, like, you're overloaded by all these abilities.
Yeah. I still don't understand half my abilities in SWTOR.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, like, I liked that because they all felt like part of, like, a toolbox. And obviously there's, like, usually, like, a rotation you do, but, like, it was like, nice thinking like, oh, if I need this specific, like, I need to like dump aggro or something like that, like there is like a specific thing that you can do for that, or you have multiple options. Because like I think a lot of that game is more structured around the end game sort of raids, because a lot of those abilities are sort of more useful in raids and other content like that than they would be just like going through the main story, you know, doing side quests and stuff.
I mean, I think all of that's true of 14 as well, but there's just less skills.
Yeah. And then I think part of my problem with, like, even though I love SWTOR, like, the story is great.
I love the story of SWTOR. I will defend that to the death.
SWTOR does have a really good story.
But the I know MMOs have fundamentally the same kind of combat, but it's just the animations look really jank, and the gun classes in Tutor are really shitty feeling compared to the, like, lightsaber classes.
Oh yeah, it's definitely true. Like, the Jedi classes feel so much more engaging than any of the pew-pew ones.
Pew-pew.
But, like, I think my main problem with it is that, like, it's not engaging in most of the content you're playing. Like, the story is definitely engaging, but, like, the combat itself doesn't feel challenging.
No. Everything's really easy in Tutor.
Everything is super easy, and so, like, you feel like you have all these abilities that, like...
that you don't need to use.
You don't need to
press
use
them
you,
in
you
any
could
order, and
probably
it works.
literally just spam the basic attack.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I can
you
play
would
it,
survive.
so.
If Paige could play it, that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
This is a bad explanation. Like, this is not going to be helpful to anybody whatsoever. But just something about Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know if it's the aesthetic or if it just feels the way it feels. Something just really clicks with me with it. And I'm like, yes. Like,
that's how
it's
I
not
feel.
like other girls, essentially.
It's not like other girls. It's really hard for me to explain why I like it so much more than other ones. Like, I think it's just a combination of the aesthetic and the animations just looking really nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I like the aesthetic, but also, like, for some reason the animations are almost too much for me. Because, like, it kind of reminds me of, like...
Rogue, yeah.
It reminds me of, like, I don't know if anyone out there, but, like, Fairy Tale. Like, where all of the magic and stuff was, like, so over the top with, like, all the effects and stuff that it was kind of, like, visually overwhelming without, like, much of a noticeable, like, coolness factor. It just felt like a lot of, like, stuff in your face. And in that way, like, I don't really enjoy that.
That's fair.
But, I don't know.
I love flashy things, so it
Yeah,
works
same.
perfectly.
Like, I definitely, like, okay, like, as a rogue, like, I feel, like, kind of ridiculous, like, spinning and, like,
yeah.
like, making, like, weird tornado slashes. But, like, Riley plays, was playing Black Mage, and
Black Mage
I
is
gotta
fucking
say,
cool.
some of those spells look really awesome. Just, like, the big fucking
big icicle.
icicle coming down. That was really cool.
Red Mage is really cool, too. You'd probably like it, because you're managing multiple things at once.
Yeah, I might try that at some point. But I gotta talk about Warframe for a second.
You should. How many hours do you have into that game?
Okay, so Steam is lying. It says I have like 4,500, but that's wrong. It's more like 3,500.
Uh-huh.
But
It's only
it's
1,000
only
off.
1,000.
I have like
off.
4,000 hours in that
Listen,
game.
yeah,
Did
I
we
was-
talk about him saying that?
No,
in his sleep?
okay.
Okay. I was over at Riley's house, and I fell asleep, and like I was like on the brink of consciousness. I was starting to wake up, but I was still sort of dreaming, and I felt my mouth like say the words, but I really didn't have any control over saying them. I said, yeah, I have like 4,000 hours in that game. Talking about Warframe, and then immediately after that I woke up and was like, oh shit.
I was fucking awake. I was laughing because I was like, did he just say I have 4,000 hours in that game?
I was asleep in the chair and I woke up to the sound of Riley laughing and I was like, what happened? And she was like, 4,000 hours.
I just love that you had a dream about that fucking game.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. In a lot of ways it annoys me and gets kind of depressing after a while, because a lot of times they don't have a lot of new content that feels really rewarding. It's just sort of like more stuff.
Yeah, a lot of grinding in Warframe that just feels like a fucking time wall.
Yeah. And like for a long time, I feel like that's kind of just what I wanted, was just like time. Because like in high school. You're just
Yeah, it was just like an after school, like every day after school, go home, grind on that Warframe.
Yeah, because like otherwise, I don't know, I'd just be sitting there rereading Jane Eyre. Or, like, I don't know, I wasn't super social in high school, so it wasn't like, ooh, go out, go to parties. Like, that wasn't really my thing. They kind of freaked me out. Like, so I'd just go home and play like Warframe or something else, but mostly Warframe. And yeah, no, I definitely kind of like 4,000 hours is ridiculous. I regret like a lot of that, and I don't really play it too much anymore. Like maybe like I'll like for a day I'll be like, I'm feeling Warframe, so I might play it for like 2 or 3 hours, but it like loses its luster like way more quickly than it used to. I usually end up like, when we're like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna play a game. And I'm usually like, okay, I have to avoid Warframe.
Yeah.
Because I know that will only lead to suffering at some point.
It's kind of like the sunk cost fallacy at this point. Like, I have this account with all these mods and all the weapons and all the Warframes, so, gotta keep up with it. And when stuff comes out, just put so much time into it already. Gotta keep on going.
And, like, not to say that it's, like, a bad game or anything. Like, it's a great game, especially for one that's, like, free to play.
It's definitely better than its contemporaries.
It's not bad to look at either, because my brother's girlfriend will play it. I don't mind sitting up there and just kind of watching her play it, because I'm like, all right.
It's a very flashy game as well.
Yeah, and I think it's funny when, like, they were, like, originally conceiving of Anthem, and they're like, ooh, we want to do something that's completely new, that's completely foreign to the gaming industry. We're so innovative. And, like, I was looking at that E3 trailer, I was like, that's Warframe, but with jetpacks.
And now Warframe has, like, parkour and jetpacks.
So it's like, why play Anthem?
Why bother?
Because, okay, as much as, like, Warframe's visual design is sometimes ugly and
it's a very mixed bag.
Some things look really great and some things look like weird meat puppets.
There's that character that just has a toilet seat for a hat.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But Anthem feels so focus tested, I guess. It feels like everything is like too polished in a way that like there's no charm to the world. It just feels like, I don't know, these are robots, they look like robots, they're very robotic, but there's not really a lot of personality to them because they all look almost like too perfect in a way.
A lot of the world in Anthem doesn't look very memorable. Like, I haven't played it because I don't want to waste my fucking money, but it just looks kind of generic.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like, ooh, look at this beautiful waterfall, but it's like,
looks
it's a
graphically,
waterfall.
it's very good. No one would argue differently, but like,
it's not.
There's some plants. Like, okay.
Yeah. Just like the fact that all the story, or most of the story, comes through like interacting with the little NPCs that are in the hub area. That's just really abysmal. It reminds me of like imagine if Mass Effect was just the walking around the Normandy talking to your crew members.
I'm not gonna lie, that's my favorite part about Mass Effect.
Okay, that is like a really good part about Mass Effect, but then again, like, they didn't do it well in Anthem because it's not really referential to the actual story of the game in any way. It's just...
Yeah, I think they just felt obligated because they are BioWare, so they're like, we need to put in that BioWare character interaction.
Yeah, and then that's...
It's really not improving this game.
Yeah, it hurts it. It's kind of sad because, like, to think about, like, a giant publisher like EA and, like, with BioWare, like, trying something new, you'd think, like, oh, maybe, you know, they'd bring some new ideas to the table that, like, would make, like, games like Warframe adapt and become better, and try out some new things, but it's all very cookie cutter in a way. Like, and then especially, like, I only really played, like, the demo, and I didn't really get much past that. because it crashed so much that I gave up. But,
God, that's so sad.
But all of the enemy AIs were so bad. They would usually just stand in place and shoot at you, or just run straight at you.
Oof.
Or
sounds like my type of game.
There was no depth to the combat. It was sort of like, I don't know if you ever see those like videos about like mathematics where there's like the problem of like, all right, something's constantly chasing you in a circle and you have to run away from it, and what's the way you can run away from it in the most efficient way possible that it will never actually catch you. That's kind of what it felt like playing Anthem. It was just like running around kiting all the enemies in a circle without actually doing anything that felt really intelligent. And that was kind of what bothers me, because usually I like to, like, when I play games, I kind of want to think about it. Even though I guess Warframe's kind of an exception, I kind of just like turn it. It's so much muscle memory at this point, like, 4,000 hours.
There was a point where you were thinking about it, but
there's so much muscle memory. Like, I already know everything to do now, so it's just kind of like this fever dream until it's over.
That's kind of how I am with Overwatch. If like, because I played it yesterday for like the first time in a while, and then I was like, if I have like music or something where I'm like, I just really want to listen to music, but I don't know what activity I want to do, I'll just play like Overwatch, and I'll be like, yeah, singing along as I'm playing a game that I'm not putting any thought into.
Yeah, and like that's why like Warframe is depressing for me pretty much. But usually I like to like think about games when I play them and just like sort of strategize what I'm gonna do. And Anthem really didn't give me that, so I just dropped it. Besides, like, even if like the crashes weren't already a problem. Oh yeah, we got our first win.
In Apex, boys.
Yeah. It was so good.
It was our first game of the night.
Yeah, it was our first game, and we didn't win anything after that. But that first game we won, and like really, it was really good. I don't know if anyone out there has watched any of Jim Sterling's commentary on Apex Legends, but it seems like every time he has gameplay that game, he's fighting like the most asinine enemies.
He gets trash mobs all the time.
I don't know, they just sort of stand there and like die. All the enemies are, all the other players feel so incompetent. I'm like, why don't we ever
get the incompetent players?
Yeah, everyone we see is like ambushing us, and they have tactics, and they're like coordinating, and we just die in like 0.5 seconds. I don't know if it's because a lot of the Apex player base is really good now, but every time we get killed, it shows who killed you or whatever, and it's like, they have 4 million kills, and you're just like, well, we didn't stand a chance against them with my like 12 kills. Like, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know what the matchmaking is like in that game, but I just feel eternally awful. And like, in general, I'm not super bad at FPS games. Like, generally I'm pretty good. Mm-hmm. But in that one, I just can't, I don't know.
If I had to guess, I don't think there's any skill-based matchmaking. I think it's completely random.
Yeah, that's probably the case. And I think it's just sort of like it's Battle Royale, so like natural selection. Yeah, that was, and then the second match we played, it was really funny because, when you queue up for the next match, it says like, this is the champion squad of the last game, and that was us. And then we died.
We died immediately.
In like a minute.
They're like, I bet they were like, this was the champion squad.
God. Oh, bother. Should we talk about music now?
Oh yeah, music.
Should we talk about this wonderful musical episode?
Yeah, it always comes back to video games, isn't it? But
we can talk about video game music, some of our favorite OSTs.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of the Halo one, specifically Halo 2. I think that was the best one, even though that was probably the worst Halo game.
The kill time.
Okay, yeah, the kill time was ridiculous. Like, you die. I think there was someone made a video about kill times in Halo games, and like, most of them were like 5 seconds or whatever for some random enemy just shooting at you. And Halo 2's was like 1.8. It was ridiculous. And I was playing the Halo games with Riley, and
I'm really bad at Halo.
I mean, she could be worse, but yeah, she's pretty bad.
Thank you. Hey, listen, I don't play console shooters. I'm not about that.
But we decided, or more like I decided, and she just went along with it. But we all decided to play it on heroic, which is like
you decided
not
that.
the hardest difficulty, but the hard difficulty. And it was fine for all the other games, but Halo 2, it was not so bad in the first few missions, but just became absolute suffering after a while. But we also were so invested. We're like, we gotta get to the end, but also it hurt so much because there was one level.
Why would you hurt me like that?
You
knew 2 was the hardest, and you were like, let's still put it on her.
Like 4 hours to get through this one level.
Being Paige and Fire Emblem.
Listen, you think 4 hours is bad? Try 12 fucking hours.
I know.
Listen, no one here has ever claimed to be good at video games, okay?
Yes.
We're not talking about him.
He
put 4,000 hours into Warframe, okay? His opinion doesn't matter.
I know I'm bad at video games. I always feel like the cliche, like, oh, that's a girl playing video games type of person, but I feel like at least I'm a little bit above that, but sometimes I am that girl.
Same. It's so sad.
Are we the stereotypical girls are bad at video games thing?
I feel like Riley's not too bad.
Oh my god.
Half the time. It depends, like, when it's like a competitive shooter or something, she usually panics and just jumps around until she dies.
Hey, jumping is a fair tactic. Everyone does it.
It's true. That's what I see everybody do when they panic in Overwatch, where they'll be like, you're shooting me, shit! Jumps.
But, yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm good at Warframe.
Yeah, but then again, like, I guess that it is kind of a hard game to, like, we played it for a long time, though. Like a long time, so.
Yeah.
So I'm the stereotype.
Yeah, you definitely are.
You're really good at Overwatch.
Yeah, I've never seen you play
Overwatch.
Overwatch, but
I've
I
seen
hear
her play.
your tracers about that.
She's pretty good.
Yeah.
Compared to me, definitely.
I don't think
I think it might just be like because we mostly play on PC, and Paige's PC is really bad, so she already gets the short end of the stick when it comes to playing PC games.
You've seen me play other games, Riley, with you here.
What?
I don't know. Am I just?
I mean, there are certain types of games where you're just the worst.
But anyway, we were talking about.
I don't feel so good.
We were talking about soundtracks.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. OSTs.
Final Fantasy always has good OSTs.
Yeah. I mean, I hear that about Final Fantasy, and there are definitely some good tracks, but I don't think a lot of the songs I hear a lot of, like, meh songs from the soundtracks as well, just because they're so long.
There was... all the Supergiant games usually have, like, really good.
But yeah, like Pyre.
Like Pyre and...
Bastion.
Transistor.
Yeah, I was listening to, I had a song, I made a playlist for myself the other day, and I was putting some songs from my Spotify on there. And I was like, here's Build a Wall. It always says Zia's theme, so and I'm always wondering if that's from a game, and I click on it, and I was like, oh, this is from Bastion.
There was this one MMO that they never mentioned in the other episodes.
Wildstar. It has that really good soundtrack. That really good song when you're in the Dominion area.
Yeah, Hymn of the Six, if anyone wants to look it up.
I remember nothing about that game except for that song.
That song is so good.
But yeah, that MMO in general, like, it was kind of weird because it was fun sometimes, but also felt very directionless.
Yeah, I liked the combat, but I don't know. You kind of just felt aimless the whole time. I liked kind of the writing because it was kind of wacky. campy, but like, I don't know, there wasn't enough focus on the story. But anyways, songs, soundtracks.
Yeah, we just keep getting sucked back into games. I mean,
We're real gamers here.
Yeah.
Hardcore gamers.
What else has really
I think
good?
one of my favorite OSTs is the Windwaker OST. It's so good.
Yeah, it is really good. I was at some point I was like, I'm gonna record like some of that on cello as a birthday present, but I never got around to it.
Didn't you do Makar's theme for me?
I started it. I never finished it.
That's true.
I'll get onto it. I mean, I'm a better cellist now, so maybe it'll sound better.
This could be a weird fever dream, but when in Wind Waker, when you're being chased in the forest by those puppets, did that play the creepy ass song?
It played Lost Woods, yeah.
Hated that, but
Or
I liked
like a
it too.
different version.
But
But that wasn't in Wind Waker.
That's
That
not
was in
Wind Waker?
Twilight Princess.
It all feels the same after a point. I'm
Those
like,
two games are,
merged.
yeah, we played them back to back, but they're
It
very
merged.
different.
I liked Twilight Princess a lot. Not that I didn't like Wind Waker. I liked Wind Waker a lot, but I really liked Twilight Princess.
I love them both.
There was some good tracks in the Mass Effect games. A lot of it was very like sci-fi ambient doo-doo noises.
Sci-fi ambient doesn't do it for me.
But there were some more ambient ones even that were like really good, like the ones that would play on the galaxy map. Like it was very like mesmerizing and kind of cool. The Dragon Age games also had some good ones.
Yeah.
And then just it's a trend in general, I feel, that games have become less focused on melody and more on sort of that ambient sort of cinematic
I mean,
effect.
it makes sense because...
Right, because they're in a way trying to get more and more realistic, and so they want to portray more of that like realistic soundscape.
Not to mention you couldn't really do it on older systems.
Right, that's true. But also it kind of flattens the effect of the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's why like in even the Dragon Age 2 is like a horrible game.
It's fucking bad, okay? I will not defend that fucking game.
Its soundtrack its OSTs were really good. I gotta say, a lot of the time, like Hawk's theme, I mean, I'm like a shill for cello, but it was good. But then Inquisitions was much less.
Yeah, I can't remember a single song.
I can't remember anything.
It was just like background noise.
Yeah, even though Inquisition was definitely a better game than 2.
Yeah, agree.
I don't remember a lot of the music from Final Fantasy 15, like specifically, but I just know it's always like really stuck with me. I'm like, I always love this, where it's at the beginning, the intro to it. You're like pushing the regalia, like the car, and as you're pushing it, the intro starts playing, and like Florence and the Machine's cover of Stand By Me starts playing.
It's good.
And I'm like, this is beautiful every single time. Even if the game kind of lacked in a lot of aspects, it's just that part. I was always like, this is great. I think they played it at the end too, and I cried.
Alright, speaking of Florence and the Machine, like I really love Florence and the Machine.
Same.
Like,
oh, bother.
Her voice is so great. And like she does so many cool things with it, like the vibrato and all that stuff. But
she's gorgeous.
The way I got into Florence and the
Thank
Machine,
you,
is
God!
unfortunate.
Oh God! He's gonna expose us.
We homestucked.
Oh God! We gotta address this.
I homestucked for much less, but
we were homestucks. This is our coming out story.
They got way more into it than I did. But I did finish it, and they didn't.
Please don't tell me what happens. I don't give a fuck.
I don't know. I don't remember. I think they either lived or died. I can't fucking remember this shit.
Does it really matter? Honestly.
It got stupid as hell. Like, if it was already stupid, it got, like, fucking brain dead.
The plot was already fucking stupid for Homestuck.
But yeah, we have this friend in, what was it, 8th grade?
8th, yeah.
I guess that's when I met her. But she was really into it, and this is how I met Riley, because we were in the same class, and she would make these like Homestuck drawings that at the time I thought were really creepy.
Oh
He's
my god.
exposing me. He's
You
exposing
met
me.
both Kale and Holly because of Homestuck?
Yes. Half my friends I met because of Homestuck.
Oh my god.
But we ended up just being friends because we played Minecraft, which is a whole mood for 8th grade, right?
Yeah, that's 8th grade in a nutshell. That's so depressing.
Didn't
But,
see that in
yeah.
the Bo Burnham movie.
Nope.
We got into Homestuck, and I gotta say, like, it was a time. It was an experience.
I was, like, obsessed with it in that time. Like, I just couldn't not talk about it every fucking day of the week.
It was weird because, in some ways, I had a lot of trouble getting into it because reading it was often such a chore.
I don't know how I did it. I could fucking do it today. I'd fucking drop it.
Okay, for those of you who don't know,
Homestuck is a webcomic.
That's kind of
it's-
generous.
So
It's like everything.
it's a webcomic. It's now a game. There were games in it too, and it was about these kids that sort of go into this like sort of virtual game, but also like it's really hard to explain. But there were trolls, as they're called.
They
They're
went
like
into a game?
gray people with horns. And
I
they all
never
had
wanted to have this conversation.
they all had typing quirks, and it was awful because some of them were fine because they would type in a chat and you would read the chat. And some of them were fine because it was just like all caps or period after every word. But some of them were so hard to read because like there was one that was sort of fish themed and they had like a trident and then they'd write the trident after like every certain thing and then they had a bunch of fish puns and it became like ridiculously hard to read sometimes and it would just hurt my brain. So in that way, like I didn't really get into it as they did on like the just reading it. But fandom wise,
Fandom was fucking lit.
I was just as much absorbed as they were, and it's kind of scary looking back on it and thinking like how obsessed I was with it.
Yeah, right? I've never been obsessed with anything on that level, and I never will be again, probably. Like, we watched the Homestuck version of AMVs.
Yeah, we had a whole playlist, and it was kind of like the formation of our music tastes, if I'm going to be honest.
Oh, God.
Oh my god, I was talking to Riley about this recently. Regina Spektor. I was like, I love the song Blue Lips, but I can't ever listen to it because of the Homestuck AMV that I always associate with it. And then when I was making my playlist for myself the other day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get over this. I'm going to add that song to this playlist. I looked up Blue Lips, and the second fucking recommendation is the AMV, and I was like, son of a bitch!
Oh my god. That's so true that I can't fucking listen to that song and not be like, Homestuck.
For me, it's Florence and the Machine, Girl with One Eye.
See, luckily, I found that separately, so I've never seen the Homestuck thing, and I'm never gonna look at it separated.
Just don't. Just
Yeah,
please don't.
I don't know. I usually, like, we made a pact at some point, and I was the one who broke it, to, like, not talk about Homestuck.
We need to discuss how cringy it is in the year of our Lord 2019, okay? We couldn't ignore it forever.
I know. I got into Homestuck way later than they all did. It was sophomore year when I had met them all and merged into the friend group. And they were like, you should fucking read Homestuck.
I'm sorry.
Like, it was like months into the school year and everything. And I was like, okay, I'll read Homestuck. And then like halfway through me reading Homestuck that they got me to go into, they were like, Homestuck sucks ass. And I was like, what the fuck?
We were just starting to be like, I hate this now.
And I was like, well, I'm gonna just fucking finish it. I was so upset.
And it was kind of funny because I had like sort of like tangential friend groups, and I would like talk about Homestuck. And they were like older than me because I was probably in like 9th or 10th grade, and they were seniors in high school, and they were like, oh, you poor soul, you read Homestuck still. Oh, God.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't understand, but now I completely understand. And I was like, oh, bother, I made a mistake.
it was just like, I feel like there was like a year or two where the activity that I did when I got home from school was Homestuck. Like, read it, watch the AMVs, watch the, like, voice-acted comic videos.
Scroll through Tumblr.
Yeah. Look at fan art, discuss theories.
I never discussed any theories or watched a lot of AMVs. The only AMVs I saw were AMVs y'all sent me.
You're welcome, by the way.
But I did fucking read all of Homestuck. Because I was like,
Listen,
a lot of times when I start something, even if I dislike it, you know, like a show or something, I'll fucking finish it. Because I'll be like, I need to know where the fuck this is going. Even if I'm highly disappointed in the end.
Listen, just talking about Homestuck or seeing it irrationally triggers me now because I'm just like, oh god, I wasted all my time on that. I was such a cringy fan. Every time Paige is like, yeah, I read to the end, I'm like, don't fucking tell me.
I couldn't even tell you what happened. They made a new world? I don't know.
Fucking don't tell me that shit, I don't fucking care.
I can't even remember. It was just so lackluster for me at the end.
But yeah, I guess we'll go through the list of, like, what are all the things that we got from Homestuck? Okay. We
Friendship.
The music.
No, but music-wise. So there's
From the
Florence
Homestuck
Machine,
AMVs.
Regina Spektor,
Marina and the Diamonds.
Yeah.
Just Marina now.
And the Deer Hunter. And the Deer Hunter
Is my favorite
Deer
band.
Hunter?
Yes, the Deer Hunter.
You probably don't know about them, but they're this prog rock band. And they have their album structure, except for two exceptions, is
a story.
Yeah, it's a story about this boy.
Don't tell the boy's story.
Grows up to be a man, and like he's kind of an asshole. But anyway,
Oh god, I didn't realize how much Homestuck made y'all.
I know. It hurts.
It was in those really important like
formative years.
Yeah.
It's like how I like in those years I just started watching Cryotic and it fucking shows.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I think I would be a lot less gay had I not read Homestuck.
Oh, that's
Homestuck made
definitely
you
the
gay?
It made a lot of people gay, Paige.
Yeah, it probably made me gay. But
God.
yeah. So like the Deer Hunter, their albums are structured into acts, like a play or like an opera or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I think they're really good. Like some of them are like obviously less developed than others just because they're sort of the earlier ones, but also
Act 1, not even that good.
But they're all pretty like interesting to listen to, and like I am a big fan partly because he does a lot of like instrumental stuff. Like he actually wrote a symphony. It's not very long, but like I'm a classical music nerd, so I was really excited, and I can hear a lot of those influences like in the Deer Hunter. So that makes me really happy, and I really like listening to them.
We can, this is obvious, and it's kind of cringy, but doesn't make it any kind of less true. But, Toby Fox was a part of Homestuck. He made music, and then he made Undertale, and he made music in there, but...
Oh yeah, Undertale music, that's good.
It's really good. Like, as much as
it's good, but I can't listen to Megalovania without wanting to commit suicide.
Yeah, I mean, you think of, like, Sans and, like,
I loved Megalovania, and I just got so upset because it was just everywhere after a while, and then I was like, it became overplayed.
Oh, if y'all don't know, like, the history of Megalovania,
I do
first
know
it was in, like, Earthbound?
In Earthbound mod.
It was Earthbound mod, and then it was in Homestuck, and then it was in Undertale. So it has a sordid history.
And that's why I can't listen to it.
But, I almost said Homestuck. Fuck. Undertale has some good music. Like, I like the little slow song that, like, a little fountain plays, or statue or whatever plays at some point. And it's just like, doo-doo-doo.
It does have some
good
like tracks.
I like Spider Dance. That was a good one.
Spider Dance was good.
The best track is Dummy. Get over it.
That's probably true. I really like Dummy. And like Ska Dance.
Yeah. Our formative music years of the ripe old age of 16, 15.
Oh yeah, we listened to like a lot of Paramore because we were like edgy teens.
Linkin Park.
Everybody here cried the first time they watched the music video Numb.
But we all cried.
Yeah.
I didn't know them. I was somewhere else. I was in a different part of the country when I saw it. So.
Listen, Linkin Park's Numb, the music video, every fucking edgy loner teen saw it and was like, me!
Everyone
crying.
saw it and cried. It was like a weird effect around the... I watch it now and I'm like, haha.
It's really funny now.
I still listen to some Linkin Park. Like,
I mean, yeah, Hyper Theory
Yeah, I
is a great
still listen to
album.
some
I
Linkin
stand.
Park. I don't cry though.
recently I've been getting into more like, I don't know, I've sort of had this like internal struggle between like, I don't know, just technical stuff in music, just because I listen to so much classical music that I'm sort of constantly exposed to that. Versus just like a bumpin' song.
A bumpin' sick beat.
You can appreciate both, I feel like,
Yeah.
you know.
Recently I've been listening to like a lot of Reign of Kindo. They're this sort of like, I guess, neo-jazz. Like, sort of, I don't know. They're hard to explain, but like neo-jazz, sort of almost like Baroque pop in a way, group. And they kind of have some of those like programmatic elements that the Deer Hunter has. Like some of their albums are structured in that sort of proggy way, where it's like an opera or.
Would you say you're kind of going through a jazz phase?
A little bit. Like I've been listening to a lot of Snarky Puppy. Some of that stuff's really good.
My older brother went through a jazz phase around the same age as you. You're just like him. He's raised you.
Practically the same
The same person. I was just wondering if it was like a musical thing that people go, like musical people are like, jazz phase.
I think part of it is like that kind of becomes, just as far as like, did he go to like music school or anything?
No, he didn't.
Okay, well anyway, I think that's sort of like a natural progression of just like learning music, is that in some, like, you have to get into jazz because like there is so much about like modern music that's built off of like the stuff that we've learned from jazz. So I think it kind of sort of has to happen.
Also, you play stand-up bass, you know?
Yeah,
right,
you play a big violin.
Bass, right. No, well, more like a sit-down bass. It's
totally
actually
standing.
it's really nice because you require a chair to play my instrument. So I'm just like, I'm a sit.
See, I kind of want to talk a bit about prog and like general modern prog rock. I have a problem with it. Yeah, I was gonna do that. Like, a lot of it's so technical that it just becomes generic. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Okay. So I think a lot of modern prog is sort of influenced by like sort of minimalist and then post-minimalist classical music. Because a lot of it's like, if you've ever listened to any Philip Glass, like the piano, like do 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 do, and I think that they've just sort of translated that to guitar and just made it a little bit more jazzy. It makes for like an interesting like first blush sort of listening, but then when you hear like song after song with this like sort of ostinato, it's like do 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 do, it's becomes really repetitive and like not fun to listen to. And then especially with sort of like the highbrow like symbolism of a lot of prog rock bands and their lyrics, like, and the zenith of
their
the soul
lyrics
reaches the apex of the crux of the philosophical, like, it's too much.
If you want to talk about beautiful lyrics, I forgot the name of the band. Who's the name of the band? Call the Mountains.
Oh, Eluvite.
If you want to listen to a band with good music, look up Eluvite. It's a metal folk band. They have the hurdy-gurdy, they have a flute, they have screamo. Look up
Call the Mountains.
It's kind of funny because I don't know, it sounds really aggressive, but then they're talking about like nature imagery.
They're talking about like being one with nature.
The cranes.
Their music's awful in my opinion, but I enjoy it.
It's really fun.
It's a funny awful.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're coming at you with the triple take.
Triple take.
Triple take.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're gonna do some
Musical
triple takes. We kind of threw some shit at Prague earlier.
So that can kind of count if you don't have another one, you know?
Want to talk about Billie Eilish?
Let's talk about Billiard B. Eilish.
So, alright.
Billie.
First of all, I think the people that say that Billie Eilish is an industry plant, they're right. But also, why do you care that she's an industry plant? Like, sure, her brother helps her, and sure, like, you know, she has all these connections in the music industry, but she's 17. And so, like, just the fact, like, she just released a new album, and, like, you know, there's some actually really good songs on there. She does some pretty creative stuff.
Industry plant mean like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, they mean like, oh, she's like not organic enough. She's not grassroots. She's a product of the industry.
Yeah, she didn't work to get here. Her brother was already in the music industry.
I mean, that's fine because I like her music.
And like, yeah, that's the thing is that her music.
It wouldn't be fine if I didn't like it.
I mean, it's fine no matter what.
Yeah.
But you know,
like her music is good, and I think even if she is an industry plant, like or like whatever, she hasn't worked enough to get to where she is. Like the thing is that she is so young, and like moving forward, it's obviously like the onus is on her to keep making good music. So just because she's like here, she has this running start sort of doesn't mean she has to just stop. Like the race is still going.
Yeah.
She's still like, look at Maroon 5.
Yeah, like they remember like Songs About Jane was a great album. Look at them now. I mean, there is no them anymore. There's Adam Levine.
It's Adam and his clones.
A few years ago, he had like a Neutrogena brand.
Yeah, I mean, he had to get into acne cream. Like, come on. Yeah, anyway, talking about her new album, there were some actually like really good cuts on there. I think like Bury a Friend, Zanny.
My Strange Addiction.
My Strange Addiction.
Bad guy.
I'm the bad guy.
I like
Duh.
Do.
I will say that like some of like the production they did, like while it's interesting, it's hard to listen to casually, like just in the car.
You need headphones.
You need headphones because the bass is often so loud that you aren't able to hear the melody if you turn it low, because then it's just like boom, boom, boom. But if you turn it up high, then like your car is shaking, and
that's the best.
Don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be that guy that's just like rolls up to the gas
Holly.
station and
oh, Holly is that guy.
I like it though, because even though it's really loud and I'm like, well, everybody around us can hear our music, I'm always like, this is a great experience when I'm in the car with Holly.
It's true. Yeah, I don't like what's that one called?
Wish You Were Gay?
No, I don't like that one, but I was going to talk
When the
about.
Party's Over.
Yeah, I don't like that one. It's too sleepy for me.
Oh, see, I like that one. Like the melody is nice, but I can see like I know you are like, yeah, I only like.
I don't know.
Music.
It's like that's not
like
true. I can like
slow
songs, but it just has to not put me literally to sleep. Like
it all depends on my mood personally. If I'm like, well, am I gonna listen to like a Manchester Orchestra, like Alien, or am I gonna listen to Seven Rings AG?
I want it. I got it.
I got it.
All right, but like speaking of going to sleep, like literally though, not just like metaphorically going to sleep. I listen to a lot of classical music, even though I love classical music, and I'm always just like so interested in everything that's going on. Like sometimes I think about like. I guess maybe it might be part of like the fact that I am a classical musician and I'm thinking about like a lot of like sort of tangential topics of like, oh, I wonder how like they're making that sound. Like, how is their bow contact? And then I just sort of like drift into this world of, I don't know, random thoughts, and then I go to sleep. And I feel kind of bad because like I want to like respect the performance and stuff. But I don't know, it's just something about it is so soporific sometimes. And that's not true with everything. Like, my boy Dmitry Shostakovich, never gonna go to sleep for
Thug
that.
life.
But a lot of times I'm just like, oh, it's sleepy times.
I can fall asleep to any music. Dubstep, though, puts me to sleep like a baby.
That's so weird.
That is weird.
Can we all agree dubstep was just a bad genre?
It's always a bad genre.
I mean,
But it's like a lullaby.
it was just weird because like it almost wasn't a genre in a way because it got absorbed into so much other stuff.
Yeah.
That it sort of just became
like
a
pop
feature,
music
like a musical.
aspect.
Yeah.
Became dubstep, and that was not good years for pop music.
I mean, some of the aspects are still there in
Yeah.
like current pop music, but it's like
I don't know, it's like
tasteful.
it's like production has gotten a lot better and people realize that wah, 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 it doesn't sound very good anymore.
2013, bad year for music.
Yeah, I don't think it was a good year. It was really bad. At least for pop music. But I also don't like the song Wish You Were Gay. But not in a musical standpoint. I think it sounds nice. But I really can't place why it bothers me, if I'm gonna be honest, because I realize the point of the song is that she likes this boy and the boy doesn't like her back. So she wishes that he were gay, so there couldn't be any possibility that he ever liked her gender to begin with. And it's like, it's supposed to be like a shallow thought or whatever.
Oh, that's us.
But I don't know, I like shallow songs. Like I listen to Cardi B and I'm like, yes, I'm a bad bitch. But I don't know, something about wishing someone was the other sexuality just because they don't like you is so shallow that I don't like it as a concept.
I don't know. I think it's like a funny song, and I also like it is shallow, but it is okay to me in an extent because it's just like I see it more of as a she just would prefer it. It's not something of her personality or something that he doesn't like or whatever, or that she's like undesirable or whatever because of this aspect of her.
I mean, there is sort of like an aspect of like it's almost like you're masturbating over like your teen years, I guess, where we're all sort of shallow and like insecure and like.
I was like, what the fuck are you saying for a minute?
Oh no. But no, just like sort of like the nostalgia feeling, like shit. And I think that's like a lot of Billie Eilish, isn't it? Like I mean, she is a teenager, so obviously like those emotions are in some way genuine. But like for her listeners, I think besides the ones that are actually teens, like I mean,
it's obviously going to be like a hit or miss.
Yeah, and
Sink
I
or
think
swim.
like I don't think everyone. I feel like a lot of her listeners aren't going to identify with a lot of her music just because like I think her experience is a little unique. Like she comes with a little bit of privilege in there.
Yeah.
But just like not everyone had like sort of that like I'm a sad teen being woo. But mostly I do like her music.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's pretty good.
That song, while it bothers me, I don't have like a moral problem with it.
Yeah.
I just don't like that concept.
And like I think her sort of rise to prominence, like for me, I personally never really listened to her until the recent album, just because like a lot of her music was like not for me. It was kind of like sleepy. As Riley says, like I don't know, like just the lyrical delivery was kind of flat sometimes, and that's not really my thing.
For me, I had heard "Bury a Friend" just like in like a lot of shit randomly, and then finally I was watching a video of these bad bitches dancing, and they danced to "Bury a Friend," and I
think I watched that. Yeah, it's really...
I showed a lot of people it, and I was like, you know what, this is a bop. This is bumping. I've listened to this a lot and everything. And then I just got into more of her songs, and then suddenly she released a new album, and I was like, okay, this is happening very fast, Billie. Like, that's a lot of music in my life.
Yeah, I kind of feel like she got so popular. I worry about her, like, sanity and health.
Yeah, I mean, she's already singing about Xannies. Or at least, I mean, I guess she's good because she doesn't need a Xanny, but she might need one soon, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, she looks so dead inside. But I get that's like her aesthetic or whatever.
Her aesthetic is dead inside teenage boy.
Yeah, I was wearing, that pineapple shirt I have?
Yeah.
It's like a button-up pineapple shirt it's blue and it has orange and yellow pineapples and like juice packs all over it, little frocket in the front. And I put it on the other day, and with my like greasy hair, I looked in the mirror and I was like, this is the Billy aesthetic. I was wearing shorts.
She has claimed it as her own.
Like khaki shorts. So
yeah,
like,
that is the Billy aesthetic.
I'm like, I'm Billy.
Billy.
I feel like her rise to prominence is almost like kind of Ariana Grande's in a way, because like I feel like the thing about her being an industry plant, like there's this almost like underlying vague sense of sexism in there.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I don't know, there's lots of other artists that are industry plants, and like the fact that she's young, like, oh, people are like, oh, she's an immature teen girl, like she doesn't know what she's doing.
I think there's a general sense of like teen girls and what they like is cringy
and vapid, like just like the fact that people are like, oh, Starbucks, fuck Starbucks,
oh, Twilight, when that was a thing, like that was essentially that.
And like
Twilight was bad, but it wasn't like
the worst movie ever.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was that? Everyone was being like, Twilight, worst movie ever made. Like,
it was
Jesus
more
Christ.
boring than it was.
And like I feel like a lot of that like Twilight hate just comes from the fact that, I mean, it was a series that was mainly targeted towards teenage girls, and like, I don't know, just because they're teenage girls and they have like feelings, because like, I mean, you know, everyone goes through stuff, but like I think like as far like I don't really feel this experience because I was mostly just like trying to hide when I was in high school. But
you were
like
surrounded by a bunch of teenage
girls. But
girls,
as far as like social groups, like I think teenage girls go through like a lot of stress. Like, I mean, I'm sure everyone's, or if you haven't watched 8th grade, you should watch it.
I
So
cried watching it.
8th grade really shows just like the stress that a lot of like teen girls have to go through. And like, I don't know, just because all that stuff isn't like the real world or whatever, like that stuff is really important to a kid. It is really important to teens. And just because like that stuff you might not identify with that stuff, doesn't mean like that is not worth anything. And I feel like with like Ariana Grande, just like the fact that she was it Victorious?
Victorious.
Just because she was on Victorious doesn't invalidate her as a singer. It doesn't
Victorious
make her...
was a good show.
It was a good
It
show.
was.
And like her voice has gotten like, she was probably the best one on there as far as like voice, and her voice has gotten like way better, and it's
Have
like
you
so
seen,
good.
like, I had to look this up because I was like, what the fuck is happening? But anytime I would go into like a Victorious soundtrack or something on YouTube, there would be like, I think we're all good singers. And I was like, what is this? Apparently there was like a hangout with all the crew of Victorious when the show was happening. And the cast was essentially like, you know what? Ariana's like a really good singer. She's really good. And Victorious was just like, I think we're all good singers.
We're all winners here.
And I see it in all the videos now where they're like, I think we're all good singers, guys.
Oh, my favorite music meme is this person invented this thing. So like when you go to a St. Vincent comment section, it's like, oh my god, I stand St. Vincent invented the gays. And I'm just like, yes.
I felt like that during her Grammy.
She's really great. Well, yeah, there was some sexual energy in that
performance.
Bro,
the Grammy performance with Dua Lipa and
Dua
St.
fucking
Vincent.
Lipa. I may not like a lot of her music. I like some of it. But what a fucking babe.
I gotta say, though, like, St. Vincent singing, like, One Kiss Is All It Takes, like, it was so good.
The cameraman tripped over the hot gayness that was happening.
It was a great moment for lesbians everywhere.
Like, I feel like even if you're not a lesbian and you watch that, you feel like a lesbian.
I was like, yes, girls,
Please.
all of a sudden.
Like, suddenly I like girls. That's weird.
Yeah. But St. Vincent in general is, like, really great. Like, I don't know, if you want to get into, like, her, like, technical ability or whatever. Like, she's a really great
rock
guitarist.
queen.
But she's also just, like, a really great musician in general. Like, goes for a lot of really interesting topics. Like, I think Lost Ageless
I like that song a lot. That's my favorite song of hers.
And just Mass Seduction in general is just like a great sort of expose on like modern consumerism in general, but then especially about like California and Los Angeles. I think like, I don't know, it's just really cool, all the stuff she does.
Kimbra has a lot of good technical stuff. Like, she does a lot of cool things with her voice and like looping and everything, where I'm like,
yeah,
Kimbra.
like On Top of the World is really cool as far as like, it's almost like rap, but it's not.
Yeah. She's crossing that line almost.
And if you ever seen any of her live performances, like she's just like making
just playing
with
the machines
with her mouth, and then just live like just goes at it.
If you're looking for someone that does a lot of cool technical stuff, try out. Even though a lot of her music is like kind of weird, but I guess two of them. But Imogen Heap. Mm-hmm. And if you have ever heard of her, she is the one. Ariana Grande actually used her invention. She made the synth glove.
I heard about that.
Yeah, she made the synth glove that like does sort of like all the stuff you would do in like Reason and Logic, but just like automatically with like the gestures of your hand.
That's so cool.
And it's like really cool the way she uses it. Like it's some like cybernetic future world sort of shit. And she just like so effortlessly does all these like colorscapes with like the sound. It's like really cool. And there's like the meme with like hide and seek, like the what you say.
What you say.
But I gotta say, like, if you haven't been absolutely ruined by the Jason Derulo cover or the incorporation
Jason Derulo
with Jason Derulo, listen to just the Imogen Heap one. Like, it's good. Like, just sort of like the sort of like futuristic synth choir thing. I'm about that.
I'll do my best to try to get past the meme. Like,
yeah,
it's just
what you say.
And another one is Bjork. Like, some of her instrumentals are just like so good. Like, a lot of her music, like her vocal delivery is like really yelpy or like whispery.
See, that's
and
the
really
only reason
weird.
I can't get into Bjork is her vocals.
A lot of her music's like really cool as far as like the instrumentals. And like there's a song, Where Is the Line with You? Where's the Line? I think it's just what it's called. That's like the chorus. But they have these like, I don't know, like bass leads mixed with sort of like the synth voice that does the bass line. It's really cool. Another artist that I listen to and that I'm not completely sold on, but is Sophie. I love her. She's sort of highbrow.
Oil of every pearl's on inside.
The Oil of Every Pearl's on Insides is the name of the album. And like a lot of it is sort of like the difficulties of like transgenderism. But like, I don't know, there's some bops in there, like Pony Boy.
I do like that one. And I like Face Shopping.
Face Shopping, yeah.
But a lot of it's too like, I don't know.
Busy?
Esoteric. It's just like, I don't know what all these wubs mean.
Yeah, I think like, I don't know, I got really into it and like, was like, I gotta find all the symbolism behind all these things.
Oh yeah, I can't spend my time on that.
But like the album's not a particularly just listenable one, but I think it's one that you can like get sucked into.
It's very technically good.
This is a little off topic, but back to the what you say. When I kill you in the final episode,
please,
and die, I want Cooper. This is you need. He's never gonna listen to this, but when we both die during this scuffle, he needs to upload it. But before he does, he'll edit what you say over the scuffle of us killing each other.
I can't wait for you to die.
You're gonna die first.
Well, it's a fair sacrifice.
It is.
We gotta mention everything.
Oh, yeah,
we stand.
My, probably, like, alright, Riley made a bracket
for albums that we both like.
And, Get to Heaven, which is Everything's third album.
Third.
Sorry.
Fake fan.
Shut up. The first two are like barely.
Arc is alright.
Arc is okay, but the first one,
Man Alive
album,
is too technical
not,
and not very like listenable.
But Get to Heaven won the bracket, and I think it's just such a perfect album. Like, there are so many bops on there, but then also, like, there's clearly, like, a lot of feeling and intention put behind it. Like, there's, like,
lyrically
some
very interesting
allusions to, like, the mind of, like, terrorists. I thought was really interesting. Like, there's this one song where, like, he has, like a bomb suit on and is, like, contemplating his final moments. It's just, like, really cool.
I love songs with stories. Thank y'all guys for replying that.
Yeah.
I just
I love the Deer Hunter, so
yeah. Like, Manchester Orchestra has a lot of good stories in their songs, so a lot of sad fucking stories.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, a lot of that, like Manchester Orchestra and like the Front Bottoms. It's almost kind of like suburban folk is how
suburban folk, yeah.
Is what I'd say. Like, it's just like folk or like country music, but for like suburban teens rather than rural farmers.
He's right. He's telling the truth.
That's true.
And then speaking of country music, I'm gonna say I don't particularly like country music, but that might be because I've been so ingrained in like radio country that's like, you know, almost pop but country and like
country roads.
Yeah.
There's certain country songs where like Miranda Lambert's like Mama's Broken Heart, that's fine.
Or like Dolly Parton.
Dolly fucking Parton. Queen.
That new Miley song, Nothing Breaks
Nothing
Like a Heart.
I
stand.
Yeah, and then like, alright, so I don't think Casey Musgrave should have won Album of the Year at the Grammys. That should have gone to Janelle Monáe, Dirty Computer.
Okay, but I'm not mad about Casey winning.
But yeah, that's a good album. Golden Hour is great.
It's got a lot of heart in it, but I'm not super into country. But I do love High Horse. Great song.
I like Drunk on a Plane by Dierks Bentley.
No.
Getting drunk on a plane.
His name, I don't believe it. It's like
it's his real name.
It is his real name, but his
Dierks
parents
Bentley.
Knew what he was going to be. They're like, your name is Dierks Bentley, and you're going to be a country singer. Like, oh god.
Okay, speaking of like names like that, can we talk about like Garth Brooks and? Okay, there's this one video of Garth Brooks sitting. He's announcing that he has a Facebook page.
It's old.
We'll put it. We'll find the link and put it in the show notes.
I'll put it in the description. If you're on YouTube.
Yeah. But it's him announcing that he has a Facebook page, and he's like, I'm so glad y'all can be here with me today.
Stuff I'm gonna post cool stuff.
It's
slick stuff.
Raw stuff.
Most of all I'm gonna be posting raw stuff like this.
It's just you, me, and my hotel room.
Yeah, it's like really creepy. I'm like, okay, I'd rather not. I'm going to leave. Thank you.
Like
it gets funnier every time I watch it.
Okay, so I'm sure y'all know about like Salt Bae and the stupid Salt Bae memes.
Yeah, you're a little late.
Yeah, but recently I saw something that I can only describe as Hair Bae.
What?
Yeah, he kind of does the same thing as Salt Bae. Like, if you've ever seen, like, have you seen like Salt Bae cooking shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, where he has like the giant slab of meat. Okay, so there's like basically that. He does like sort of the same thing. He's got the like round like glasses thing going on, like the colored shades. But like he's just like furiously like washing someone's hair, and then he'll like periodically slap them. He'll like slap them on the head, like clock them real hard. And then continue washing their hair.
And they like that?
And I guess that's like a thing.
That seems more like a kink than anything else.
It's really weird. It reminds, like, just like, I don't know how far we've come in like. Okay, I'm gonna like my socialist is coming out or whatever, but like as like a consumer capitalist society where we have like where we have like freaking people that just like horribly cook, giant slabs of meat, or you pay someone to get slapped on the head and that costs thousands of dollars, or like
That's insane.
there's a pizza with gold and caviar on it that tastes awful, but it has gold and caviar on
it's
it,
like
so
the
it's
Supreme,
worth it. And like Supreme, yeah. It's really kind of depressing.
Well, yeah.
Like,
I think most of us can agree it's kind of depressing.
Do you know how, like, imagine you didn't know about the head slap and you paid for it, and you're just like, this is a nice hair. Ah!
I really like that.
You know how surprised I would be if somebody was washing my hair and all of a sudden they smacked me?
I think you just have to leave.
I'd be like, what the fuck? I didn't pay for abuse. But you did.
But you did.
What's the timer up there?
Hour and 20.
Alright.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we can probably wrap it up. I don't have a lot to say about music. If you like shanties, Smokey Bastard's pretty good.
If you like, what genre's Mother?
I don't know what the
Mhm.
fuck.
Like a band?
I guess
Like a folk rock?
sort of folk rock, but like pop.
But pop
Rock.
as well. They've dabbled in genres.
Yeah.
I like Dread and My Hurt a lot by them.
That's good.
Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, definitely listen to Janelle Monáe.
Anything Kimbra does, listen to it. It's beautiful. Listen to
Coming to my
Come
head.
into my head. Yeah.
That was
really
our
good.
first introduction to Kimbra, because everyone knows her from the Gautier video, and we're all just
somebody
like, oh.
that I used to know.
Yeah, we're all just like, oh, generic girl singer. But then we clicked on the sidebar for Coming to My Head, and it was like the exact opposite.
It was an awakening.
Yeah. Okay, and it's kind of funny because I didn't really get into Janelle Monáe until recently, even though like she's got some really popular stuff that like definitely like years ago I should have known about, but I didn't for whatever reason. And I just recently found out about like Fun and what's that song?
Yeah, that she's in
Some Nights?
Tonight.
Or was it Some Nights or is it We Are Young?
We
It was in
Are
We Are
Young.
Young.
She has a part of it.
Yeah, and she's the one that sings like the "Carry Me Home Tonight," and like that. It says like that song featuring Janelle Monáe, and you're like, how is that a feature? Like that could just be any random backup singer.
It doesn't even sound like her particularly.
It's like they didn't know they had Janelle Monáe. Where are you now, Fun? Huh?
Fun.
Fuck you, Fun.
Like, unfun.
Damn, that was fucking awful.
Damn, we just fucking shit all over Fun. They ain't even that
I was
bad.
talking about your joke.
Wow, okay.
What else is good? Okay, I really like another weird one, kind of less weird than Bjork or Imogen Heap, but Fiona Apple.
Yeah,
She's
I
got
think a
some
lot
good
of
ones.
people like her.
Like I know she's sort of like a more 90s thing, but like it's good.
SZA, if you like
Oh
R&B.
yeah, Control.
Control's
was
a
good.
great album. Love it.
For all you people stuck in the past of Britney Spears hating, what
Get
the
over
fuck is
it.
wrong with
Get
you?
over
You
it.
gotta admit that she had some good
She
songs.
was the original bad bitch. She is the queen,
Mhm.
okay?
The song with her and Madonna. Don't look at Madonna's current shit. Don't look at Madonna's
Don't
current
look
shit.
at bitch, I'm Madonna. That's not good.
The higher, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. But her and Britney's song, like
Me Against the Music.
Me Against the Music, is like the baddest bitchery, like awesome song.
It's fucking great.
Oh yeah, I've got two recommendations. One, I mean everyone knows about Cage the Elephant, but their new album,
Their new
Social
album.
Cues, really good. Especially like Broken Boy, House of Glass, those were really great. And another one is
Yes.
Pretty cool. Oh yeah, No Name. She is a rapper, but a lot of her stuff is it's more spoken word than rap in a lot of times. But she's got some really good raps though. But almost kind of listens almost like a slam poem in a way, and I know Riley over here doesn't like slam poetry.
Not a fan.
But
not my favorite.
I mean, even you've listened to some stuff.
I liked good. Ace. That was good.
She's got some really good stuff. Go listen to Room 25. Yep.
Ben Kaplan has some. If you like, what was his genre? Would you say
folk? Sort of.
But like strong folk.
Like half his music is almost like Victorian era, like
like Baroque. Yeah, I don't know, sort of like burlesque, gospel. I guess.
If you want to listen to some nice belting deep voice singing, look up Ben Kaplan. Look up like Dusk or something.
Oh yeah, and on the opposite side, we didn't mention this, but on the opposite side of that is everything. Like everything is falsetto.
Yeah, that's just how it looks. Like at first really it's good. Weird,
but then you get used to it, and it's good.
I still live for Marina and the Diamonds. Just Marina now. New album. Listen to that.
There was someone else that was restyled as just something, right?
A lot of people.
Brendan Urie.
I wish.
I'm going to save that for another episode because we're already really far in.
Yeah.
We have some strong opinions about Brendan Urie. We'll save it, though.
Oh, yeah. We totally forgot about Rina Sawayama.
Oh, my God. I stand!
Sort of like 2000s glam pop. She's got her own
R&B.
Yeah. Really good.
And Rina has a better album than Get to Heaven.
Fight me, bitch.
Okay. I think we're going to end it with this. This is just a statement that can't be, argued against. It's just the truth. There's nothing that you can say that can change this fact. The best song that exists ever is TLC's No Scrubs.
She's right.
Oh, yeah. Don't listen, or, hey, guys, listen to the Bastille cover of No Scrubs and tell us what you think of it.
Tell us in the comments.
We'll give you our opinion some other time.
Yeah.
But tell us what you think.
And that is it for the Leftovers podcast.
Woot woot.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.